Welcome to Elder Secrets, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. In today's episode, the forgotten power of Grandma's chicken soup, we're stirring the pot on a remedy that healed generations before us. Was it just comfort food or nature's original medicine? Let's uncover the truth your taste buds and your health have been craving.
Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're diving deep into something that seems so, well, deceptively simple, yet holds this profound power. Chicken soup. Forget what you think you know, really. This isn't just comfort food, though it absolutely is that too.
It definitely is.
But what your grandmother was brewing was actually a complex therapeutic compound. And modern science is only now truly validating it.
It's catching up.
Exactly. So our mission today is to uncover the real science behind why traditional chicken soup works, as genuine medicine, beyond just feeling warm and fuzzy. We'll explore what was lost when, well, the industrial food system took over.
Right.
And crucially, how you can reclaim this powerful ancient tradition for yourself.
And it truly is ancient. I mean, for thousands of years across virtually every culture that had access to chickens, this golden liquid, you could say, has been systematically prescribed.
Prescribed, like medicine.
Absolutely. For a vast array of ailments. We're talking everything from the common cold, physical weakness, all the way to what Maimonides back in the 12th century called melancholia.
Melancholia, like depression or fatigue?
Kind of, yeah. Think depression, chronic fatigue, and traditional Chinese medicine. They've incorporated it for millennia. Jewish communities passed down its use for generations as a refined form of preventive medicine, often called Jewish penicillin, right?
I've heard that term.
Yeah. It's fascinating and frankly a little sad that in our modern rush for pills and quick fixes, we've largely pushed this deep wisdom aside.
Dismissed it
as old wives' tales. But think about it. We've spent billions, literally billions, trying to recreate in labs what our ancestors were brewing naturally in their kitchens.
It's incredible when you put it like that. These independent discoveries, different cultures, different times, all landing on chicken soup. So, okay, let's unpack this. What did these ancient traditions actually look like? How sophisticated were they?
Oh, remarkably sophisticated. In ancient China, for example, practitioners developed these detailed protocols based on different chicken parts for different benefits.
Different parts? Like what?
Well, they understood, for instance, that chicken feet were great for joint health, necks maybe more for respiratory issues, the whole bird for general weakness. And they knew that long, slow cooking was just essential to extract the essence of the bird.
The essence, okay.
Then you look at ancient Greece. Maimonides, who was a renowned physician, he actually prescribed chicken soup for respiratory ailments.
With instructions.
Oh, yeah. Precise methods, cooking times, even the best temperature to drink it. He treated it like a real medical prescription.
Wow.
And in medieval Europe, they used it for that melancholia we mentioned, showing this like intuitive grasp of the gut-brain connection way before we had the science for it.
That's fascinating.
And of course, in Jewish communities, Jewish penicillin, a refined, almost preventative medicine, passed down for centuries.
What strikes me is how similar the approach seems to be, even across these separate cultures. Was there a common thread in how they made it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what's really remarkable. They all converged on incredibly similar methods.
Like what?
Long, slow cooking.
Oh.
Always. The deliberate inclusion of bones and cartilage, not just meat.
Okay.
Specific vegetables, onions, carrots, celery, that classic trio.
Right.
And careful skimming. These weren't just random choices. This was the result of thousands of years of careful observation, trial and error, long before anyone knew about biochemistry.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Connecting that ancient empirical observation to what modern science can actually measure and validate. Because people probably just dismissed it as folk medicine for ages.
For a long time, yes.
But did science ever actually look closely at these practices? What did they find?
They found our ancestors were basically accidental biochemists. Seriously. Through just watching and tasting, they developed cooking techniques that maximize the extraction of, well, bioactive compounds. Take the practice of adding a little vinegar or wine.
Right, I've heard of that. Why?
They didn't know about pH, of course, but they figured out it dramatically increased mineral extraction from the bones. We now know it boosts calcium and magnesium by up to, wait for it, 1,000%.
No. 1,000.
Yeah. They were essentially creating a super bioavailable mineral supplement without even knowing it.
That's incredible.
And that tradition of cooking for 24, even 48 hours.
Yeah, that seems like a long time.
Traditional cooks didn't know the word collagen, but they knew longer cooking made a richer, more effective soup. Modern science shows this process breaks down that tough collagen into gelatin and individual amino acids. It creates this unique nutritional profile that's incredibly easy to digest.
And the vegetables, just flavor.
Not at all. Onions, carrots, celery, herbs like parsley or dill, they weren't just for taste. Either one contains compounds that support immune function, reduce inflammation, help you absorb nutrients.
Yeah.
It's a synergistic combination.
So it wasn't just the ingredients then. It sounds like the process, the time, even the intention mattered. Like making soup was a healing ritual itself.
Precisely. We're even starting to understand now how the emotional state of the cook might subtly affect food quality, maybe through stress hormones or other pathways.
That's deep.
It is. And it highlights what we've kind of lost, I think, in our modern food system. We've reduced food to just fuel, calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
We've forgotten its deep connection to culture, family, healing traditions. Going back millennia.
Yeah.
Your grandmother's kitchen. That was the first pharmacy for so many generations.
It really was. I remember my own grandmother, she'd always say food is medicine. You know, you kind of roll your eyes as a kid.
Right. We all did.
But she was onto something profound. Okay, so we've got this rich historical foundation. Now, let's really dig into what modern science discovered. Why does it actually work? I bet when researchers first tackled this, they were pretty skeptical.
Oh, absolutely. Totally skeptical. The initial assumption was, it's purely psychological, just warm, comforting,
Yeah.
a placebo effect.
Makes sense.
But they were spectacularly wrong. The first real breakthrough came in the 1970s. A Dr. Marvin Sackner at Mount Sinai in Miami. He used this technique called rhinomanometry.
Rhinomanometry. Okay, bring that down for us. Sounds intense.
Huh. It sounds more complex than it is. Basically, he used it to measure airflow through the nose.
Ah, okay, so congestion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He could objectively see if people were breathing easier, if their stuffiness was clearing up. And he found that hot chicken soup was significantly more effective at clearing nasal congestion than just hot water or even cold soup.
So it wasn't just the heat or the liquid?
Nope. That proved there was something in the soup itself causing a real physiological effect, not just in the head.
Okay, so what is that something? What's the magic in traditional chicken soup that Dr. Sackner's study pointed towards?
Well, when you simmer those chicken bones for hours and hours, you're extracting this incredible array of minerals, amino acids, and other bioactive compounds. And crucially, they're in forms that are super easy for your body to absorb.
Like the minerals you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. You get bioavailable calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, silicon, sulfur, trace minerals. But the key is how they're delivered. They're naturally packaged or chelated with amino acids from the chicken.
Chelated.
Yeah, it basically means they're bound in a way that makes them incredibly easy for your gut to absorb.
Yeah.
We're talking maybe up to 90% absorption and utilization
90%. Compared to what, like a supplement pill?
compared to maybe 20–30% for many synthetic supplements. It's like targeted nutritional therapy delivered naturally.
That's a massive difference.
It really is. And then there's the protein breakdown. As the proteins from the meat and bones simmer, they break down into individual amino acids. These are like pre-digested building blocks. Your body needs minimal energy to use them, which is vital when you're sick and low on energy.
Makes sense. Any specific amino acids that are key?
Oh, yeah. You get cysteine, which is a precursor to glutathione. That's one of your body's master antioxidants. Really important for replenishing your stores during an infection.
Okay.
Then there's glycine. It has profound anti-inflammatory effects, and it's crucial for making collagen, think gut lining, skin, connective tissues. Proline is another one, essential for wound healing and tissue repair.
Right.
And maybe the most interesting one is glutamine. It becomes conditionally essential when you're under stress, like during illness.
Meaning you need more of it than usual.
Way more. Your immune cells, your white blood cells, use glutamine as their primary fuel. Your needs can shoot up by 300, even 400% when you're sick. So traditional chicken soup is literally fueling your immune response at the cellular level.
Wow, okay. It's like a customized fuel blend for your immune system when it's working overtime. So what about gelatin? That comes up a lot with bone broth.
Gelatin is huge. It's actually a great sign that you've cooked the broth properly if it gels up when it cools.
Like Jell-O.
Kind of, yeah. That means you've successfully extracted the collagen from the bones and connective tissues. And gelatin itself is incredibly easy to digest, so again, it conserves energy for healing.
And good for the gut.
Very good for the gut. Its unique amino acid profile. Lots of that glycine and proline is specifically beneficial for repairing and maintaining the integrity of your gut lining, which is critical because something like 70% of your immune system is located right there in your digestive tract.
70%. I always find that stat amazing.
It is. And gelatin also acts like a carrier, helping your body absorb other nutrients from the soup and from other foods you eat more effectively.
Okay, so it helps the gut lining, delivers nutrients. What about inflammation? That's a big part of being sick, especially with colds or flu.
Absolutely. And this is another key area. Recent research, building on Sackner's work, shows that chicken soup actually inhibits neutrophils.
Neutrophils,
They're a type of white blood cell. They rush to the scene during infection, which is good, but they're also major drivers of inflammation in your upper respiratory tract, the things that cause congestion, cough, sore throat.
Ah, okay.
So chicken soup seems to gently calm down their activity, which directly explains why it helps relieve those symptoms. It's an anti-inflammatory effect.
That makes so much sense. And the vegetables you mentioned, they're not just for taste. What are they doing in there?
They're absolutely part of the therapeutic picture. Onions provide quercetin, powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, plus sulfur compounds that help your liver's detox pathways.
Okay.
Carrots give you beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A, essential for keeping your mucous membranes healthy, your first line of defense in your nose and throat.
Right.
Celery has compounds that support kidney function and help with fluid balance, plus some natural sodium. And even herbs like parsley and dill aren't just garnish. They add extra antioxidants and compounds that aid digestion.
So the whole traditional combination, it really is this complex therapeutic food.
Exactly. It's far more than the sum of its parts. It's addressing the illness on multiple levels simultaneously.
Okay, so we understand the incredible power of traditional soup. But then, yeah, what happened? How do we get from that to the cans and boxes on the supermarket shelf? This feels like the darker turn in the story.
It really is. It's how the industrial food system completely lost the plot when it comes to chicken soup.
What do you mean by that?
Well, most commercial chicken products today, honestly, they're often just a chemical cocktail. Artificial flavors, preservatives, stabilizers, maybe some MSG, and something vaguely called chicken flavor.
Chicken flavor, that sounds suspicious.
It often is. It can be entirely artificial chemicals designed to mimic the taste. There's often very little real chicken goodness in there. The industrial process uses high-temperature, short-time processing. It's efficient for mass production, sure,
Right.
but it extracts virtually none of those beneficial compounds we just talked about. Hardly any minerals get dissolved. The proteins aren't properly broken down. There's no collagen extraction into gelatin.
That's why they don't gel.
Exactly. There's nothing to gel. And beyond the processing, the source of the chicken is usually problematic.
How so?
Industrial chickens are typically raised quickly in confinement, fed GMO grains, often treated with pesticides, routinely given antibiotics, sometimes hormones. These birds just have a dramatically different and frankly inferior nutritional profile compared to the healthier pastured birds our ancestors would have naturally used.
So beyond just being nutritionally empty, what kind of actively harmful ingredients might you find in these commercial soups?
Oh, the list can be long. You'll often find MSG or related excitotoxins disguised under other names, huge amounts of sodium, usually from cheap processed salt, not mineral-rich sea salt,
Right.
artificial preservatives like BHA, BHT, often high fructose corn syrup or other added sugars, which actually suppress your immune function, the last thing you need when you're sick.
Sugar in soup. Wow.
Yep. Plus petroleum-derived artificial colors to make it look appealing, various stabilizers and emulsifiers that can mess with your gut bacteria. Even the vegetables, if they're present, are usually remnants, overprocessed and nutritionally depleted.
It really sounds like a betrayal, almost. The great chicken soup betrayal.
That's a powerful way to put it, and it kind of fits. It's not just the product that's been degraded, it's the loss of knowledge, the loss of the practice itself.
Yeah, how many people actually make soup from scratch anymore?
Very few. Surveys show the vast majority of people, especially maybe under 40 or 50, have never done it. We've effectively outsourced this fundamental skill, a form of kitchen medicine, really to an industry whose priorities are shelf life and profit margins, not genuine health.
And the consequences for public health.
They're profound, I think. We see this over-reliance on over-the-counter medications for symptom relief, a lack of understanding about how food is medicine, and the irony.
What's that?
We spend billions collectively on synthetic amino acid supplements, mineral pills, probiotics, prebiotics, trying desperately to replicate the very effects that a well-made traditional chicken broth provides naturally, synergistically.
It's like trying to build a car by just buying individual nuts and bolts without the blueprint.
Exactly. Or like trying to replicate a symphony by just playing a few individual notes here and there. You lose the complex synergy, the harmony, the very thing that makes it work so powerfully. The industrial system sold us convenience, but when it comes to healing foods, that convenience often comes at the cost of efficacy and can even be actively harmful.
Right.
We become in some ways sicker, weaker, and more dependent as a result.
It's a really profound shift we've undergone. And that actually leads us perfectly into what you mentioned earlier, this growing understanding in modern medicine about the deep connections between our gut, our brain, and our immune system. How does traditional chicken soup fit into this incredibly integrated network?
This is where it gets even more fascinating, because soup interacts with this system on multiple levels. This discovery of the gut-brain immune axis has really revolutionized how we think about health.
So the gut is more than just digestion.
Oh, way more. It's often called the second brain for a reason. It has more neurons than your entire spinal cord. It produces more serotonin, that key mood neurotransmitter, than your brain does.
Wow.
And as we mentioned, it houses around 70% of your immune system cells, plus trillions of bacteria that profoundly influence everything.
And the gut lining is key.
Absolutely critical. Think of it as your body's internal border control. Its integrity is crucial. If it gets compromised, a condition sometimes called leaky gut, undigested food particles and toxins can leak into your bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammation all over your body.
Okay, so how does soup help that lining?
Chicken soup plays a vital role here, that gelatin we talked about. It provides the specific raw materials, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, that your body uses to synthesize collagen, which is essential for maintaining and repairing that crucial gut lining.
Building blocks for the wall.
Exactly. And glutamine, that amino acid we discussed earlier, it's the primary fuel source for the cells of the gut lining itself. During illness or stress, providing glutamine is essential to prevent that barrier from breaking down under pressure.
Okay, so healthy gut, strong border. How does that connect up to the brain then? You mentioned the second brain.
They're constantly talking to each other, primarily via the vagus nerve, which is like a major information highway. A healthy, well-nourished gut sends calming, all is well signals up to the brain.
Okay.
But a damaged or inflamed gut sends distress signals that can manifest as anxiety, depression, brain fog, cognitive dysfunction. This helps explain why chicken soup can have such noticeable emotional and mood-boosting benefits. It's not just psychological comfort, it's physiological signaling.
And the gut bacteria play a role in that too.
Absolutely. Your beneficial gut bacteria actually produce key neurotransmitters themselves, things like GABA, dopamine, serotonin, which directly impact your mood, your stress levels, your sleep. Traditional soup, especially with its gelatin acting as a sort of prebiotic food source for good bacteria, helps support a healthy gut microbiome, which in turn supports a healthy brain.
Mind-blowing stuff. And then how does this whole gut-brain axis link directly to immunity? You said 70% of the immune system is in the gut.
Right. So a healthy gut lining and a balanced gut microbiome, I mean, the immune cells stationed there, the gut-associated lymphoid tissue or galled out, aren't constantly freaking out and overreacting to things leaking through the gut wall or imbalances in bacteria.
So it frees them up.
It frees up the immune system to focus its resources on actual external threats, like viruses or harmful bacteria you encounter. Chicken soup's anti-inflammatory properties help calm down those overactive immune responses in the gut. Its nutrients fuel the immune cells directly, and it supports the production of immunoglobulins. Those are your antibodies, the specific defense proteins. It basically helps it restore balance and proper function to the whole system.
And what about just the warmth of the soup? Does that play a role beyond comfort?
Yes, absolutely. What's fascinating here is the connection between warmth and immune function itself. Consuming warm foods actually improves circulation and lymphatic flow.
Okay.
Think of it like helping your internal delivery system work better. It aids in distributing immune system resources, cells, antibodies throughout your body more efficiently. Plus, warmth activates the parasympathetic nervous system.
The rest and digest system.
Exactly, as opposed to the fight or flight system. When your body is in that relaxed rest and digest state, it diverts energy away from immediate survival responses and towards essential background processes like healing, repair, and digestion. Fight or flight actually suppresses immune function short term. So warmth encourages the state your body needs to be in to heal effectively.
And the whole ritual aspect we touched on earlier, the making, the smell, the act of consuming it, that feeds into this neurological signaling too, doesn't it?
Definitely. The act of consuming warm, nourishing, comforting food, especially food made with care, sends powerful neurological signals. It reduces stress hormones like cortisol. It activates pathways that tell your body you are safe, you are being nourished, you have the resources to heal.
Signals a canned soup probably doesn't send.
Exactly. A mass-produced, lukewarm, maybe artificially flavored product just doesn't provide that same rich sensory experience, that feeling of care, those specific signals that your brain interprets as time to heal. Traditional chicken soup is truly sophisticated medicine, working on all these levels simultaneously: physical, nutritional, immunological, and even neurological.
Okay, this is incredible. I'm convinced. So for everyone listening who now wants to ditch the can and reclaim this wisdom, how do we actually make this truly healing soup at home? It sounds like, as you said, both an art and a science.
It really is, and it's not complicated, but the details matter. First, let's talk about the chicken itself.
Okay. Does any chicken work?
Ideally, no. Prioritize pastured birds if you possibly can. They live outdoors, eat bugs and greens. Their meat and bones are just nutritionally superior. Higher omega-3s, vitamin E, beta-carotene, denser bones with more minerals.
Better than standard supermarket chicken.
Generally, yes. And actually, older bird stewing hens are fantastic if you can find them. Their meat is tougher, yes, but their bones and connective tissues are more developed, meaning more collagen and minerals for the broth. Modern commercial chickens, often harvested at just 6-8 weeks old, are frankly inadequate for making really potent broth.
Good tip. Okay, pastured chicken, maybe an older bird. What about the bones?
Use plenty. Don't just rely on the bones from the meat you might use. Get extra bones specifically for the broth. Think chicken feet. They are almost pure cartilage and collagen.
Chicken feet. Really?
Absolutely fantastic for broth. Also, necks, backs, wings, whatever you can get. Again, aim for pastured or organic sources if possible. You can roast the bones first for a deeper flavor or just start with them raw. Both work.
Okay, got the chicken, got the bones. What about the pot and the cooking method?
Use a heavy-bottom pot, cast iron, enameled cast iron, stainless steel, or even a good quality ceramic slow cooker works well. The absolute key here is low, slow heat.
Not boiling.
Definitely not a rolling boil. You want it at a bare simmer, just barely bubbling. Some traditional cooks call it keeping the pot smiling. Vigorous boiling can actually damage some of the delicate proteins and fats, and it makes the broth cloudy. The optimal temperature range for gently breaking down collagen into gelatin is around 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well below boiling.
Got it. Low and slow. And the time, you mentioned 24 to 48 hours. That's long.
It is long, but it's critical. That duration isn't arbitrary. It takes that much time at that low temperature to really dissolve the minerals out of the bones and fully break down the collagen into gelatin and those beneficial amino acids. It also allows for incredibly complex flavors to develop. You have to think of it differently. You're not just cooking dinner, you are literally crafting medicine.
Right, creating medicine. I like that framing. What about the vinegar trick you mentioned?
Yes, fifth point, acidity. Add about a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar, or even some white wine or lemon juice, per large pot of water right at the beginning with the bones. This helps dramatically increase the mineral extraction, especially calcium. Remember that, up to 1,000% figure.
Wow. Does it taste vinegary?
No, don't worry. The acidity mellows out completely during the long cooking process. You won't taste it in the end.
Okay. Then the vegetables. The classic onion, carrot, celery.
The traditional trio. And again, not random. Onions bring that quercetin, sulfur compounds, good for liver detox. Carrots offer beta-carotene for vitamin A, vital for mucous membranes, plus natural sweetness. Celery has compounds that support kidney function, fluid balance, and add some natural sodium.
And herb.
Definitely add herbs. But timing matters here. Bones and root vegetables can go in early and cook for a long time. But add more delicate herbs like parsley or dill in the last hour or two. Otherwise, they're volatile oils and some vitamins get destroyed. Parsley is great, rich in vitamin C and K, supports kidneys. Dill is lovely, has antimicrobial properties, aids digestion. A bay leaf is traditional too, thought to help with blood sugar and inflammation.
Okay, timing for herbs. What about salt?
Use a good quality, unrefined salt, natural sea salt, or Himalayan pink salt. These contain trace minerals, unlike processed table salt, which is just sodium chloride. Add salt towards the end of cooking so you can adjust the taste accurately after the broth is reduced a bit.
Makes sense. Anything else?
The final piece is, well, intention and attention. This goes beyond just following a recipe. Pay attention to the process. Smell the broth as it develops. Look at its color, its texture. Maybe keep notes on cooking times and ingredient amounts. The real proof is in the final product. Does it gel nicely when it's completely cold? What's the mouth feel like? Rich in coating? How does it make you feel afterwards? Provide sustained energy. That's the art part.
It really is a blend of art and science then. The rewards sound immense, not just for your physical health, but for connecting back to this deep ancestral wisdom. It really brings us full circle, doesn't it?
It does. For most of human history, there really wasn't this sharp distinction we make today between food and medicine. The kitchen was the pharmacy. Every single bite of food you take, it's either actively supporting your health or it's subtly undermining it. There really is no neutral food when you think about it biologically.
That's a powerful thought.
And the separation of nutrition from the practice of medicine, I think, has been, in many ways, quite disastrous for public health. We've lost touch with this fundamental power we have to heal ourselves through what we eat.
So as you, our listeners, go about your day, maybe consider this provocative thought. What other seemingly simple old wives' tales or traditional kitchen wisdom, maybe from your own family history, might modern science be on the verge of